Now, traditionally, Nick, I start off with just one question. And that question, sometimes people don't like to really hear about it too much, but a lot of people love this. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey? Now, you've done 4 TED Talks, so this makes it kind of interesting, but your journey from the time you conceived the TED Talk until the time that you delivered it. And let's talk about that very first one you did. What was that journey like for you?
Yeah, so it was interesting. I, for most of my career, was not actually in the public sphere. I've always been an extrovert and I've always been a nerd. And that's kind of a rare thing to have a combination of both. And my business partner basically said, "Hey, why don't you try speaking? Why don't you try just getting out there and sharing your
Mhm.
knowledge, just what you do every day?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. Like, why not?" So I started down the speaking road and all that kind of stuff. I got actually a radio show here on a local station here in the Chicagoland area, and I've always loved TED Talks. I've always just found them fascinating. They're great to listen to or watch. And I said, you know what? I've got a lot of different thoughts and ideas and all of that. I should codify one of these. And because I'm in cybersecurity, one of those core concepts that we have essentially to break down what a hacker is that we simply lie to you no matter what that situation is. We lie to you. And so by virtue of that, as I'm looking at technology, what I can't do is trust the security that I've got. I can't trust that the technology is going to be safe for me. And so here we are. Trust sucks. And it was originally actually the title of one of my presentations, which was fully titled "Trust Sucks" or "How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Paranoia." And that's essentially what I did. I just basically made that into the talk, and obviously went and interviewed for TEDx, all that kind of stuff. And from there, it was just here we are. That was number one.
Was it difficult to get speaking or get people to take that subject matter? And was Trust Sucks the very first one that you did?
Yeah, in terms of talk, in terms of TED Talks, TEDx Talks,
Yeah.
yes, that was my very first one. I think the world has a need for this. We are living obviously in the big tech era. Everybody's adopting technology from young to incredibly old and incredibly young, and so this is a subject that I feel like has been the redheaded stepchild in the room, for
Mm.
quite some time. And I like to say that I've been the redheaded stepchild in the room until the last 5 years or so, because now as we see the basically cybersecurity become more prevalent in the news, you think of the 2016, Russian interference news, all that kind of stuff. I don't care what you believe politically, this was news. And by virtue of that, it kind of came to the forefront. People were realizing they're being data mined. People were realizing that hacking essentially was an inevitable event in the world, and hopefully it wouldn't happen to them. And so, by virtue of that, it's been a good combination of basically me being an extrovert and a cybersecurity expert being able to talk on these. I wouldn't be here probably if that wasn't the case.
Well, just I want to get into Trust Sucks a little bit, but I just want to ask you: was it difficult for you to come up with that title and for that title to be accepted?
No, actually, I so the event I did was TEDx Northbrook, which is a here in the Chicagoland area, and I was one of about 200 or 300 applicants that they had, and I was one of 4 speakers that they selected. And so
Mm.
I walked in basically understanding that, yeah, okay, I'm going to build this. And my very first draft of this, it sounded like I was giving a speech to an accounting firm, meaning slide after slide
Yeah,
of
yeah,
points. I'm
yeah,
thinking to myself,
yeah.
no, no, wait a second. I've never seen a TED talk where you are just busy with slides. It's conceptual. It's talking essentially, in the ether of you will of consciousness, if you will. And so that's my second draft is actually the one that I pitched to the committee that was vetting me and interviewing me for this. And they loved it. They said this was great. And it actually, they told me, it came down to me and another person speaking in technology, but mine was the one that was more TED ish, if you
Yes.
will. So there you go.